Yes, yes, you know the vibes. Welcome back to another live phone in. Sadly, not after another win, but here we are with the lineup and the setup for the game and everything. It was predictable that it was going to be a tough game, but I didn't expect that we were going to be that toothless in the final third. Smash the like and subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. We're going to delve deeply into this game with multiple different guests, and if you guys want to get involved as well, join the Patreon. The link is down in the description below. And also, while you're down in the description below, check out the beautiful, the wonderful, the lovely One Football app, the greatest football app with the most reliable news on whatever app store that you've got: Apple, Android. Android is clear, just my opinion. But check out the One Football app for the most reliable football news regarding your club, any club in England, any club in Europe, maybe even any other club in the world. Also, check out the very reliable Transfer Indicator app, which is the main job to give you the most reliable transfer news as opposed to any of the other BS you guys hear on Twitter. Check out the One Football app, the most reliable football app. The link is down in the description below. Now let's talk about Southampton 1, Chelsea 1. We said don't underestimate these, man. And there's a reason why. Yes, they lost 6 games in a row, but they're a completely different team to any of the other teams that we'd faced recently. They were going to come out on the front foot. They were going to press us whenever he had the ball, and they were going to ask questions of us. And that's exactly what got asked in the game. And like there was a lot of questions about the lineup in general. Andreas Christensen getting dropped to the bench, which makes me more worried that Thiago Silva might not even be ready for the Atletico Madrid game, because it doesn't really make sense that Christensen got dropped for this match if he was going to get dropped for the Atletico Madrid match as well. Maybe it's the case that we're resting Thiago Silva with the Manchester United game in doubt and he isn't going to actually make the Atletico Madrid game. And if that's the case, I'm actually all for it, because the Manchester United game is just as important as the Atletico Madrid game. We also have Liverpool 4 days afterwards. That game's just been announced as well. So we need to be smart with our players and play them sparingly. Rest Thiago Silva whenever necessary so we can always get the best out of him. But the back three still raised a bit of questions. Kurt Zouma, we all know the howler for the first goal and the massive open gap that was split open with one single pass. But that was more of an error of the entire defense, in my opinion. There was a massive gap, but there was 2 people in that gap, and there was also Reece James, very far out of position as well. He could have been a lot deeper as well at that spot when the ball was played. So there's a couple players that you could lay blame on for that first goal. But the fact of the matter is, 90 minutes, we still couldn't break down Southampton and score a goal in the space of 90 minutes from open play. Our only goal came from a penalty. Surprisingly, Anthony Taylor gave us a penalty, which is an absolute madness when you think about it. But at the very least, we got a goal off that. Mason Mount's got another goal against Saints. I know we would have loved that little Pompey boy in him as well. But we were just toothless in the final third. Tammy Abraham, I love him. Like the effort was good from him, but he got bodied all game. Werner, his runs were just getting ignored. Marcus Alonso stunk up the pitch at left wing back, and to be honest, I don't know why he played this game, because I thought the Atletico game made more sense for him. The Atletico game, we're going to be playing a similar sort of team, a similar sort of style of play to the teams that we faced before, which means you can put more players forward. You can use you can use Alonso in that more central role that we've been using him in the team. But using him in this sort of game where he was going to get pressed, it was only going to get the worst out of him. And he stunk up the pitch today, which is why I already say I'm never really sold on Marcus Alonso, because you can expose this man. You can play to his strengths against the right sort of team, but you can expose him if you want to play against him and if you want to actually test him, because there's deficiencies in his game. And it's clear to see. But enough of me talking. You guys can check the rest out in my live review. I'm going to get the first guests on as well, because you guys want to hear from the other people as well. If you guys want to get involved as well, click the Patreon down in the description below to get involved. We'll get our first guest in. Yes, Alex, what are you saying, man?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Bit disappointed, but I did say last week after the Newcastle game, don't count your chickens. Yes, I was aware that Southampton had gone 6 losses in a row or whatever it was, but you know, if there's one thing we have seen this season in the Premier League, it's that form has sort of gone out the window. Any team can pull up a surprise. And you know, I don't think we were awful today. We showed signs, but Tuchel himself even said post-match, for the first 80 meters of the pitch, wasn't really an issue. It was the last 20 meters of the pitch. And yeah, for me, I sort of echo that final third. Not clinical, didn't really create any clear-cut chances. And, credit to Southampton. They did press well for quite a lot of the game, but should be beating them, man. I just hope we have a different potency against Atletico on Tuesday. Because if we don't, then we could be in for a shock.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we said for the last month and a half since that game was actually announced. We need to be clinical by the time we face that game. Here we are again, and we weren't clinical in this game. And that's the one thing that's worrying me about the Atletico game, because as a team, we can step to them and we can actually give them a good game in the space of 90 minutes. But when we have our chances, are we going to take them or are we not? I don't know if I can answer that.
Well, that's what I mean. And obviously, there's a lot of speculation about the summer transfer window already and about how we need to sign a striker. I'm hearing Haaland a lot or whatever. But at the end of the day, Lewis, it doesn't matter what striker you have if you're not getting the ball to them and you're not creating chances. Because, today, other than Alonso's chance in, the first 10 minutes or whenever it was earlier on in the game, we started sharp, apart from his chance and Reece James's chance. Werner today didn't have. Did Werner today have a clear-cut chance or a chance at all? I can't think of one. Abraham, I can't think of one. So yes, I understand.
Did we have a shot on target this game?
I think we had 2 or 3, but don't quote me on that.
Let me check.
I'm not sure, but the point I'm trying to make is, yes, I understand people saying, we need a more clinical striker, which, I 100% get. But if we're not getting the ball to those strikers and we're not putting in proper crosses, so if we're not putting proper crosses towards the strikers, it doesn't matter who's playing up front because, we're not getting the ball to them anyway. So, man, I'm just a bit worried about the midfield area. Like, I don't think Kante and Kovacic is the best double pivot to have. Yes, I understand Tuchel would have had one eye on the game on Tuesday, hence the changes. I don't know. I just look at certain areas of the pitch and I don't know, man. I'm not one of those people who says, "Oh, every time we drop points, we need new players." Sometimes you have to just look at the players you've got and get the best out of them. And I understand, you do need reinforcement. Some players aren't good enough, but we should be good enough to get 3 points against Southampton today. Not only because they've been on a bad run of form, but we have been playing some decent football under Tuchel. Not every game, but we have seen some good football.
Yeah, like the last 5 or 6 games have filled me with so much optimism that I'm not even that worried coming out of a result like this because I know we're going to rotate. I also know that that's not our strongest 11, so that's not going to be a lot of the players I'm going to see in the Atletico game as well. And I feel like the big players that we missed are going to come and make a big addition on Tuesday. We missed Jorginho in this match. We missed Andreas Christensen in that match. And they're both going to come in the next game. They're going to have an impact.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I expect Christensen will probably come in on Tuesday. I'm assuming we're going to play the same formation. I could be wrong, but I thought Rudiger was actually our best defender today. To be honest,
he was excellent.
With regards to the defense, anyway. Azpilicueta kept Danny Ings quiet for the game, but question marks over the goal. Could he have told Reece James, communicate with him better to pick up whoever he was marking, moved inward? Yeah, I know Zouma was mainly at fault, but Zouma didn't think he had a great game today. I thought he was quite poor actually, and I'm a big fan of his. we look like we're missing Thiago, to be honest with you. I know this is what only our second goal we've conceded under Tuchel, but just in terms of how we're organised and that sort of cohesion at the back, we don't look the same when Thiago's not playing, and I just don't think that relying on a 36-year-old who is the way forward, because we don't know how many years he's actually got left in him. Let's be honest. I mean, I know a lot of fans want us to sign some defenders, but yeah. But who else? Reece James. I thought he was poor as well. He could have. He made a great pass to Alonso in the opening minutes of the game for that shot. But yeah, man. Even when Vestergaard had that header that hit the bar, very slow to react. Danny Ings got the rebound. Luckily, that didn't go in. But Reece James slow to react. Yeah, just wasn't really at the races today. And as for that finish, for that lovely ball from Mason Mount, everyone knows, man. Keep your head down. It's ballooned it over. Come on, man. That has to at least be on target. And who else on the other side? Alonso. Average. I've been saying this for a while, Lewis, and you know, people can shoot me down in flames all they want, but I'm telling you right now, right? Fans of his and even probably him are still living off that Spurs game in the Conte season because he scored 2 goals. Granted, right? Most Chelsea fans know that as a left back, he's basic. Everyone knows that, right? Now, as a wing back, I wouldn't even go as far as to say he's a great wing back, and I'll tell you why. Because there seems to be this myth going around that he's a great attacking player. Well, to me, a good fullback or wing back should be doing what Alexander-Arnold's doing, for instance. I don't think he's the best defensively, but he goes forward, he creates, he can put in the cross, dribble past players, put in a nice through ball. Other than Alonso scoring the occasional free kick and the odd few goals a season, right? That guy, every time he gets the ball, he passes backwards. I forgot who it was. Someone played a lovely through ball. You know, if that's someone else, they're sprinting on the end of that and creating something. Gets the defender catches up with him. I've barely ever seen him in his time at Chelsea put in a decent cross, and you know he offers nothing in terms of running down the wing and actually attacking. He finds himself in good space. I'll give him that. Like for the shot he had in the first half, in the first few minutes, but other than that, I don't rate the guy at all, and I'm sorry, but how he's been here for this long, he literally is the cat with 9 lives. That he seems to find his way back into the team, no matter who the manager is, and quite frankly, I don't understand it. I'm not saying he was to blame for today, but I'm just going forward. It doesn't even have to be Chilwell who replaces him, quite frankly. It could be Callum, from what I've seen so far.
I think it's another board decision. We need to raise the valuation of another player so we can try and ship them off in the summer. Marcos Alonso, same as Kepa last game in the Newcastle match. That's what it looks like to me. Because we've used him in sparing games that we can afford to use him for, and also the Spurs game because he was in good form. But other than that, no real justification to give him any game time.
This is the thing, Lewis. Like, I understand under Tuchel so far, right? He's been a 6 or 7 out of 10. I'll probably say a 6. He hasn't been awful. That's not what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to make is people don't look at his overall play. They look at his goals and think, oh, yeah, Alonso's worthy of a place in the team. Let's look at the goal he scored against Burnley. Fantastic goal. Don't get me wrong. Great technique, right? And, you know, he put the game to bed. Other than that goal, right, I would say, and this isn't me hating, this is me being genuinely honest. Other than that goal, he had an average performance that game. Didn't do anything special, and he was caught out a few times. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. I'm not saying he's the reason why we drew the game today, but it's just when you look at how we play in terms of our pressing, right? We don't create enough chances as it is. And especially today, most of the play was coming down the left-hand side. He is the one player, other than the strikers, who you would expect to be, you know, sort of giving Southampton's backline a bit of a runaround, or at least a right back anyway. It didn't offer anything. And once again, Mason Mount, our best player on the pitch, created the most. And why this guy still gets stick is beyond me, because you consider the amount of money we've actually spent on attacking players. Mount still looks, the best player most games this season, whether it be under Lampard or Tuchel.
Yeah, Mason Mount, like we've already said, he's one of our options for player of the season, to be honest. Him or Thiago Silva. They've only been the two consistent ones for us.
Yeah. And I see someone in the comments saying I have the same energy for Chilwell. Well, yeah, I rate Chilwell, but if you listen to what I've said before when he's played, I've also admitted he's been poor since about December, or maybe even further back. It's not a case of, I'm going to dig out a player just because I don't rate them. I'm saying what I see. So if Chilwell was poor today, then I would have said Chilwell was poor. But I'm not having people telling me, oh yeah, but Alonso should start because he scores goals. Chilwell's got a few goals this season, and up until a few weeks ago, I think he had the most assists, or level with Werner or something. So it's not a case of oh well, he scores goals, he does this, he does that. I couldn't really care less, because at the end of the day, when he isn't scoring goals, what else is he really doing? Because defensively, he's caught out all the time. In fact, Rudiger himself had to cover for him a few times today because he gets so far up the pitch and he can't run back. But and it's not. People. Someone else is sending the comments about people being reactionary. Don't get it twisted. I said to you about Southampton, do not underestimate them. I'm not angry because Tuchel can afford to drop a couple of points here and there, as long as he doesn't do it on a consistent basis, because we have got results. People could say, but we haven't been tested, this, that. But it didn't stop people from overhyping us back in October, November. So you can't have it both ways.
Just gotta take a move.
Yeah, just take it a game at a time. Like, it's too early.
I'm not angry about the way Southampton played. I know Southampton were going to play well. We were worried about that going into it. I was not happy about the way we played. It was our performances that are annoying, not the opposition's.
Well, exactly. And this is the thing, right? Because, yes, we didn't play our best football today. Southampton, if you watch them closely, probably did everything that Hasenhüttl told them to do. They were playing that narrow 4-4-2 formation. So what they were doing, where they were congesting the middle of the park whenever we had the ball to cut all sorts of passing lanes off. And when they weren't in possession, that's the one time where we could have capitalized. Because if you look in the first half, for example, Southampton sort of played to one side of the pitch. When they were doing that, we were in possession of the ball, right? Reece James or whoever else was on the right side had acres of space. We didn't really utilize him because for the majority of the game, all the play was coming down the left-hand side. It just, I don't know, man. I don't get it today. Like, I want to see a lot better, man. But
the thing is, it wasn't our strongest lineup. That's why I can't take it too serious, because I know our best team will have a much stronger back three with an actual leader in the middle. We'll have someone at left wing back. There's an actual clown. We'll have Jovic in midfield, and they'll be a lot more fluid and understanding of each other. Granted, N'Golo Kante was one of the best players on the field today, but I still think there was issues with his passing range, and I still don't think him and Kovacic meshed well together. It was just a better individual performance from N'Golo Kante than the effect on the entire team in general.
Yeah, I think completely
more fucking clinical. Like, I'm done with it. I've said it for years. We ain't clinical, and we just need to be. We need to start actually eating up these chances.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Kante overall, I thought was good today. Better in the first half because he did lose the ball a couple of times, but he regained possession very well, sort of like the old Kante we've seen a few years ago. The only thing I'll say is whenever Kante and Kovacic play in a double pivot, Kante seems to be the more advanced midfielder. Now, when Kovacic sort of sits, you don't see the creative side that we've been seeing in recent weeks. That's why, for me, the Jorginho and Kovacic double pivot works better. But then, that's not me saying I don't want Kante to play at all. Who plays next to Kante? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know who you think's a good pivot partner to have with Kante, but I don't think Kovacic is the one, because I don't like Kovacic being the deep one because he's not as useful. He doesn't create as much.
We need Jorginho in, but I feel Kante's better defensively and can progress the ball, so it should be him. Because Kovacic's best part is progressing the play and also being impressible in itself. But I feel now I'll give him credit because his final ball's actually improved over the last few games, so it is a very tight debate. That's why Jovic is so hard to bench them right now, because their form's just been excellent. They play brilliant together. But that's also why I'm happy with the depth of the squad as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, right? I know he didn't pick his strongest 11, right? But we still should be beating Southampton. We've got a big enough squad. Our squad overall is better than Southampton. Southampton, anything, are the ones that should be complaining about not starting their best 11, because they're the team who's had injuries. Did you see the amount of youngsters they had on the bench today? I mean, in comparison to our bench, in comparison to theirs, you know, speaks for itself, really. But yeah, but you know, I expect to see. Well, actually, I don't know. I imagine he'll probably do Kovacic and Jorginho.
That's mad.
Against Atletico, but yeah, I'm not too sure. But let's get onto the forward line. Werner started off sharp, puffed and puffed. You know, not great today, but I didn't think he was awful. He tried, but again, final ball when he gets into them positions in the box just wasn't it today. Tammy Abraham, it never really got into the game. I understand, again, a lot of Chelsea fans don't particularly rate him. I don't particularly rate him, but I'm not going to go as far as to say he's a championship striker, because he's clearly not. He's played for Bristol City and Villa and bagged a load of goals. So you know, I think that's a bit unfair. I agree when people say he shouldn't be starting. For me, he wouldn't be a starter, but he could be a decent Premier League player, maybe for starting for a sort of mid-table team. That's where I personally see his level, but that's not me hating on him. The only thing I would say about him, I can't understand, is how someone who has a 6'4", 6'5" stature is so weak on the ball and not great in the air either, to be honest with you.
No, that's something that he needs to get stronger at. But I don't know if it's a case if it'll come with time with him and we just need to be more patient, or if it's just something he's never going to get.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's funny because I know Tuchel's been here for about a month, but he probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks or whatever, but he probably still doesn't know who his main striker is, because there's sort of each striker we have their advantages and disadvantages. With Werner, you can say, oh, he's not great in the air, but then recently we haven't really been playing with the ball in the air. Giroud is great in the air, but he's not one that he doesn't have pace. You can't play a through ball to him. Tammy doesn't really have the physicality. So, you know, we will probably most likely shop for a striker in the window. But until then, we're just going to have to manage. We have 3 decent strikers. People can sit there and say Tammy's shit. He's not a shit player, right? He may not be a great player, but he's not a shit player. All of our strikers have, some sort of ability. Whether that be the right ability to play in a Tuchel style of play, ultimately remains to be seen. But yeah, like I said, it's not just the strikers. We're not creating chances in general. It's one thing the strikers not doing anything and even contributing other than scoring. But it's Mason Mount is the only player that looks like he's actually going to create something. It's him putting in the crosses today. It's him dribbling past players. Why is it him doing that? We've spent extortionate amounts of money on attacking players, but it's not those players that are showing up. It's him. And I'm glad Mason Mount is performing how he's performing, because a lot of people were saying under Lampard that he's only playing because he's Lampard's favourite or whatever. Mason Mount cannot be a favourite player under 4 different managers. Tuchel rates him, Lampard's rated him, Southgate seems to rate him, and he played a lot under Vitesse as well. Yeah, and the manager of Vitesse clearly rated him as well. So
I don't mind. He can be my son as well if we're throwing him around like that. It's cool.
This guy stands. There's players who have cost more money and who are highly rated by a lot of fans. Oh, start him, that aren't doing it. Yet people want to sit there and criticize Mount. Well, why? Because he's one of the only players doing the job at the moment. Let's be honest here. On a consistent basis, let's be honest. Other than him, who's been our best player this season? Thiago, maybe.
Silva.
You know what I mean? You can't.
In terms of consistency, maybe Reece James, but I think he's dropped off a little bit too much to be in the running compared to the other two.
Yeah, he's dropped off, and he's not really getting
mention.
Yeah, he's not really getting a regular run in the team either. So
yeah, it's only one of them two, to be honest.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. So for me, I don't know. I'm like I said, we should see a different sort of potency against Atletico with the strongest 11. It'll be interesting to see who he plays in the midfield. I'm sure Jorginho will start, but other than Kante or Kovacic, that will be interesting to see. Be interesting to see who he plays at left wing back as well, actually, because I know Alonso's tipped to be the favourite. But
couldn't it?
Yeah, I know Alonso's tipped to be the favourite, but if today's anything to go by, Callum should be considered as a left wing back, in my opinion, as an option. I mean, we're all saying, should it be Chilwell? Should Emerson even worm his way back in? But why not Callum? He played it for the last 20 minutes against Wolves, who can hit teams on the counter. Callum, for me, from what I've seen, all right, he may not, test him at left wing back against a side like Atletico, but doesn't mean to say he wouldn't do a job. But yeah, I was a bit surprised to see him get taken off today, especially as a sub. Tuchel's come out and said that he didn't suit the shape, or he didn't like his attitude or whatever. But to be honest, he brought Ziyech on, who, if anything, was probably worse.
Yeah, Ziyech came on, and to be honest, I don't know if it was instructional, because we were trying to get him to make runs in behind. That's not the best way to get the best out of him.
Yeah, I know, but
maybe it's just him more sending the message to Hudson-Odoi in general, because I don't know, because it don't really make sense to sub off a substitute.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Because let's say if Lampard did that, imagine the uproar. Don't get me wrong. I myself am upset to see Callum come off. But then on the flip side of that, you could say, well, Tuchel doesn't take lightly to anyone who he doesn't think is, putting in a tough shift out there. I personally didn't think he was that bad. Yes, he wasn't as influential as we've seen him be, but Ziyech wasn't any better when he came on. If we had won the game, then he's justified in saying, well, I brought Callum off. We've got 3 points. But Ziyech came on, didn't really get into the game. And from what I can see, I'm not writing him off completely, but my initial impression of him under Tuchel is that he doesn't suit his style of play. And the reason is for the pressing element. Now, don't get me wrong, he can pick out a great pass on his day, whether that be Alonso, Giroud, whoever. But it's the off the work ball I'm concerned about, and the persistent pressing, which I don't know if he has in him. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I haven't personally seen it yet. And maybe that's the reason he's not starting. I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I, man. But the good thing is we can be optimistic for the next game. As a final question, what are your thoughts going into the Atletico Madrid match now? Is your thoughts changing in any way?
I don't know, Lewis. Do you know what? Right after today, I would say I would say there is a cause for concern. But then come Tuesday morning, I'll probably have a different attitude. I'll probably think we're just going to put out strongest 11 today. You know, I think we'll be up for it. Hopefully, we'll see a different animal. Because take Sheffield United, for instance, wasn't overly confident after that game. But then Newcastle last Monday, I was thinking, right, there we go. I'm seeing that sort of prowess again that I was seeing in his first 2 or 3 games. So I'm hoping we can take the game to them. I'll take a draw all day long. Don't get it twisted. Like obviously we want to win, but I'll take a draw all day long. It's at a neutral ground as well, so yeah, that will be in our favour. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just gonna wait and see. I don't really want to make a prediction or anything because I don't know what to expect. I haven't really watched Atletico play this season, so I don't know. I don't know what sort of football they play, but yeah, man. Hopefully, we could get a draw, or hopefully a win, but at least put in a good shift. And if not, if not get a win, then make it fair game for the second leg. But yeah, man. Also, I want to say R.I.P. to Peter Osgood as well. I know it would have been his birthday today, so legend. That's why I got him as my icon. But
I like the gesture as well.
yeah, man. But other than that, yeah, that's it really. Disappointing today, but we go again Tuesday. Hopefully we put in a much better performance and we've all got a smile on our face after that game.
Definitely, man. If we get the win at the next one, that's going to be one of the most gassed phone-ins we've ever had. I can't wait for it, man. You take care, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah, man. You too. All right,
Bless,
cheers,
bro.
Lewis.
Bless. All right, again, if you guys want to get involved, click the Patreon in the link down in the description below to get involved. We're going to get our next guest on. Yes, Dag, what are you saying?
What's going on?
Yeah, we good. What are you telling me?
Oh man, when it's a 7:30 a.m. kickoff, don't watch it on your bed. I fell asleep.
Bro, I've literally watched it on my bed.
Yeah, literally, I fell asleep within 5 minutes, bro. It was I never stood a chance. I was gone, but I went back and I watched the game and
you need to go get one of these, man. This is what's happening today. I'm on like 2-3 hours sleep. It's a fuckery right now.
I thought I could do the same, bro. I went to sleep at like 3 a.m. thinking I was big tough. I'd get up in timeout. It didn't work out. But I mean, going to the game, I was speaking about it for the past couple of weeks. We still haven't seen a consistent lineup, like a starting lineup that plays week in, week out in the important games, I guess you can call it. But I mean, hopefully, like right now, Atletico are losing to Levante, so if they lose that game, maybe that hopefully that drops their confidence a little bit low, and then we can come in there and have a bit of a give them a bit of a shocking, give them a good performance, a good outing. But I mean, going into this game, dude, I thought I was gonna be confident. Again, yes, Southampton were losing 6 games on the bounce, but if you look at it, if you take out Danny Ings from that squad or like try and neutralize them, they really don't have another attacking threat. Like Shea Adams can probably shoot like 16 times and probably score twice. So again, like really the only threat that I was worried about was him. And it ends up being the Liverpool kid, Minamino. And that goal was just a complete clusterfuck. Like literally, there was everyone was out of position. Like the pressing that Alonso was trying to do was absolutely useless. It just completely busted open the rest of the defense. I really like what Vitmus was talking about on your review when he was talking about how if you really have a commanding goalkeeper, he tells his players where to go. He tells his players who's coming through or if a man is being left unmarked, right? And I don't know what it was, but I mean, today it just seemed like they had a little bit of a relapse when they went back to the old days, right? And again, it was personal mistakes, and that's what ends up leading us to not getting the whole 3 points. But on the other side of the pitch, man, it was awful. It was actually awful. Alex, he said a lot of good points, but one thing that I was a little bit iffy about, right? Look, you can't compare Tammy and
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of feedback.
Sorry, yeah, it's my phone. What were you saying?
Yeah, but he was comparing, not comparing, but just saying that even if we had Howard in this team today, you need to have people creating chances in order for him to get into those positions to score.
No, but we take chances for the most part in games. It's just we're never clinical.
No, not only that, but today I feel like Tammy doesn't really make runs like that into the box. Like he tries to be like Giroud. He'll try and like really back into an opponent so that he can stay on side, right? And then force the play to go down the wing so that he can get another tap in. But again, like Alex was saying, I mean, like he's 6'4" and he can't get off the ground. Like there was an opportunity where the ball, he could have just easily jumped, but he just decided to duck under it for some reason, trying to leave it for another player. When you're an elite striker, you don't duck for nothing. You shoot every single chance you get, right? So it's not a matter of is he a championship level striker or that. It's a matter of it's been 2 years that we've had him, and it's the same problems. If a problem with a player changes, you see that they're adaptable, right? You see that they adapt their game. But if the problem is the same with a player for year in, year out, he's just not a good player. Or not a good, he's just not a great player, an elite player. And at a striker position, you need an elite player. It's not like right back when you can put in for one game, you can put in a little fixable hole, right? And this is the striker position. He needs to finish these chances, right? And, I mean, we're not getting it. And, dude, I mean, that miss by Reece James was really bad. Like, it was really, really bad. Like, we see it at the end of the game, it's 1-1. Because when it first happens, we're like, oh, it's okay, we'll get another chance to tie it, right? But now that it's 1-1, usually it's really bad. Like, he was right in front of the goal. Like, at the very least, I don't care if the goalkeeper blocks it, right? But at the very least, you have to put that on target. You can't shoot that over the. I mean, especially, and then at the same time, Marcus Alonso on the other side, first half. What are you in the team for? You're not going to help us defend. I know that. You're not going to help us press. I know that.
I think it's the wrong game for Alonso.
Huh?
Just the wrong game for Alonso. You got to play him in specific games.
But the problem is, like, what's going on with Chilwell? Like, I understood it when it first happened because he was like, oh, yeah, we needed the height against Burnley or whoever it was we were versing.
Yeah, this game, it just don't make much sense.
So why is Chilwell just being done and dusted? Like, we spent $50 million on a left back. We need to play the man, all right? That's why I have a problem with people saying it's the board forcing Alonso to be played. If a player is bought for $50 million, you don't put him on the bench for someone you want to sell, right? There's also, like, look, Alonso's an English guy, right? That is the whole Chelsea view, right? Young English players, right? That's literally, like, they're not going to try and hide him and put him on the bench. Like, they want him to be out there getting the exposure in the kit, all that. So, again, I mean, Werner out. Oh, man, please. These comments today have been on another one. I'm not going to lie.
They're probably rival fans, so you can't take them too serious.
I don't think it was rival fans because some of them were saying sell Christensen. I don't think that's a rival fan. I don't think they would know that.
It's just agenda merchants.
These players are
too serious.
Again, I mean, the only thing I'm really hoping for is that Atletico have a bit of just like a lapse in judgment. Just have, like, at this point, the only thing I see us scoring from is probably going to be a personal mistake. And I doubt Jan Oblak is going to make a personal mistake, so it's going to have to be one of the other players. And, I mean, looking forward onto Tuesday, the best chance that we're going to – I'm sorry, bro, but I really don't see Conte staying in this team. But I just don't see him being able to do everything that is needed from that position, like what Kovacic was doing. Because if he needs to progress the ball and also come back, and he's also our best defensive midfielder, so he has to cover – for Kovacic, who's the deep playing one, right? That we're asking way too much of him. The man has had 4 hamstring injuries in the space of a year, right? that's a cause of running too much. That's like so. I don't think he's going to be able to stay in the team or stay healthy. And if I'm being perfectly honest, if it comes down to we have to sell one of our good players to get Haaland, I do not mind selling Conte because I feel like he can be replaceable. Maybe not in the defensive aspect of it, but on the offensive side, I completely do. I think he can be replaceable. So Declan Rice, no. We're not going to spend 80 million for Declan Rice and then spend 100 on Haaland. That's not happening. But I mean, Declan Rice isn't coming anyway. That was a complete Lampard move. I don't think that we had any actual real interest in him because, again, we saw what happened with Lukaku, probably happened with KDB and Salah. We're not going to buy back any player we sold for like double the price. No. I mean, the Declan Rice wouldn't even be double. Like
Declan Rice,
but it's not happening. Like he's just too much.
Yeah, that's not happening, man. But what's your thoughts going into the Atletico game?
Yeah, I mean, my best hope is look. We have a comment again. If you think Jorginho is good, then I'm telling you, you have not seen Jorginho with high press teams yet. We did. We saw it, and it worked when he had Kovacic with him. That's what people don't understand. Jorginho doesn't work well
against a high pressing team.
Jorginho doesn't work well with Mount. He doesn't work well with Conte. He works well with Kovacic. Like we've seen it when which game was it? I think it might. I don't think it was the FA Cup, but
when what?
It might have been it was a game. It might have been recently when Kovacic and Jorginho were getting they were getting seriously pressed, and then they were literally just playing through it. They were just playing around it, and low-key might have been Newcastle. I think it might have been that Newcastle.
Because they were good.
Huh?
Mad. That's another injury for them.
Jimenez?
That's crazy. That's another injury for them potentially going into this game. There's no reason not to be confident. What are you saying?
I said it during. I said it before this game. I was really excited before this game, but I mean, again, I really have no clear like team sheet, right? I feel like none of us really have the confidence in saying that this is going to be our starting 11 against them. So I'm not going to be able to make any sort of predictions until I see the team sheet. If I see Zouma in the middle and if I see Alonso at left wing back, we're getting absolutely ripped apart. Hopefully, if we see Christensen, I'll be a bit more confident. And man, I would prefer to have a Jorginho Kovacic partnership because it's what's worked. Like, let's be honest. Why are we gonna go into against Atletico and try something new? There's no point. We don't have enough time to sit there and try and break them down and then try and switch the field. And then when it doesn't work, we have to bring on Jorginho and Kovacic. And then we have to give them time to try and study the field. And, it's not going to work if we try and bring them on afterwards. Just stick with what we know, stick with what has been working currently. And just believe, just hope.
Exactly that. Well, Dag, thanks for jumping on, man. It was great chatting to you. I'll chat to you on Tuesday. If we win, it's going to be a madness. I can't wait.
Man, I think another one of those 8-hour streams, man. All right.
It probably will be, man. But yeah, you take care, bro.
Y'all have a good one.
Bless. Right, again, if you lot want to get involved, check the Patreon in the description below and check out the OneFootball app as well if you guys haven't checked it out already. We'll get our next guest on. Yes, Pablo, what are you saying?
Just watching the Atletico game and Levante have just gone 2-0 up in the last minute, so...
Ooh!
They sent everyone up for a corner, Atletico, even Oblak, and they've just hit it from the halfway line. It's gone in. So yeah, there we go. 2-0 Levante.
Oh, bro, this is gonna be brilliant, man. I don't want to get gassed on it, but
yeah,
oof, this is good.
But yeah, I mean,
today anyway.
Today is a frustrating one, man. I see today as a massive opportunity lost because the past weeks, what we've been seeing is loads of teams dropping points and Chelsea winning games. I got the feeling with our fixtures coming up, we've got Man United, then Liverpool, then Everton, then Leeds. I got the feeling with this game that if Chelsea won it today with other teams dropping points, we'd be in such a sick spot. And there's still other teams that are going to be playing each other. You've got like West Ham and Spurs, I think, as my dogs start barking. And then and then like loads of other teams I feel are going to be dropping points around us. I got the feeling if we won today, all of a sudden we're thinking, you know what, we're in a sick position here for top 4. We're still fine, I think, but we've got Man U and Liverpool next, and then we've got Everton, and you wonder how many points this Chelsea are going to get out of those sorts of games, don't you? So I'm frustrated. I thought we were okay today. We dominated possession, obviously. I still feel as though we're lacking a lot of chance creation, if I'm not going to lie. Our only goal was a penalty, really, and that was our only clear-cut chance. Reece James, I think, should have put his laces through the last one at the end, but other than that, we're just not creating an awful lot. So yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating game, but I'll take the point. Point's always better than 0, and we move on. But I do see it as a bit of an opportunity lost, if I'm being honest.
Definitely feels like a bit of an opportunity lost. But what positives do you think you can take from it?
I mean, the same positives we've been saying for the past weeks, I suppose. I think we're good at controlling matches. We're not really giving many chances away to the opposition, which is a positive. If you're minimising the opposition to 1 or 2 chances a game, your chances of winning the match really increase. But the issue is the teams take them against us. But, I think that's always a positive. The good controlling possession, the new system's working. That's good to see. I thought Werner started the game really well today, actually, and I think he actually is improving of late. He's got a bit of confidence under his belt, but he just went a bit missing in that second half and just kind of went back to his old ways, which was frustrating. But I think he'd be a positive. Personal favourite of mine always, Mason Mount, outstanding again today, doing it all on his own up there, dribbling past people, making things happen, receiving the ball on the turn. He won the penalty, scored the penalty. Chelsea's man of the match for sure. I thought he was outstanding again. So yeah, that'd be a big positive for me.
All right, cool. And looking at the lineup, does it give you any worries going into the next few games? Because we're all angry about the performance to an extent, but I'm a bit calmer about it because I don't expect this team to be starting every single week.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Tuchel, isn't it? It's quite like we mix up our lineup every week or so. So that'll be interesting. I'm expecting a few changes to the Atletico game. Aspie will start, obviously. Rudiger will start. It's whether Thiago Silva's fit. If he's fit, he's come back in. He comes back in, obviously. If he's not, I think Christensen will definitely come back in at the heart defence. I think he probably suits that role better with his passing range and reading of the game in that central spot compared to Zouma. In midfield is the big question, isn't it? Jorginho, Kovacic and Kante. I don't know, because I want Kante to recover possession against Atletico, but I feel we're so much more restricted in possession when we don't have Kovacic or Jorginho on the pitch. The way we progress the ball is so much different. Right wing back, I think he'll start James. Left wing back, I think he's going to start Chilwell, if I'm being honest. Started Alonso against Newcastle.
Makes sense.
Yeah, started Alonso against Southampton again today. I think it'll be Chilwell. Up front, Mount will start. I think Werner will start. And then I reckon Giroud will start, if I'm being honest. Whether he drafts Hudson-Odoi in there at right wing back or in any of the front 3 spots, we'll wait and see. But that's the thing, we've got loads of rotation. We've also got loads of players who aren't actually getting a look in right now, who, in my opinion, if we want to be a top ruthless team, we need to get on form, man. Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz. These are kind of the guys we were speaking about all at the start of the season and in the summer. And it's probably why we feel quite restricted these days in games, because we don't have like our star players on the pitch. It's a shame they haven't really adapted quite well enough yet, Havertz in particular. But if we can get these guys in form, then I do feel our chances will increase. But yeah, like you say, loads of rotations going on. And I think he'll make a few more for the Atletico game, and hopefully he gets it spot on with the lineup.
Yeah, hopefully as well, man. Any final thoughts, bro?
I mean, final thoughts heading into hard fixtures now for Chelsea. I think the Atletico game midweek is going to be super, super hard. And we have to improve in attack if we want to get an away goal. So we're in big trouble, man. So we have to see if we can somehow unlock Atletico. We need to get an away goal or as many as possible. Then you've got Man U in the league. I'm looking to see a performance from Chelsea in the upcoming games. Man U, Liverpool, maybe the sort of games in the past seasons we've just thrown in the bin because we're not good enough. But now we've got to impose ourselves in these games and see if we can win them. Because today was annoying dropping points. Positives are teams keep dropping points around us. Loads of teams are playing each other right now. So we got to hope and watch, hope for draws and stuff, hope for teams dropping points and then just win some more of our games and see where we end up. So yeah, on to Atletico, massive game. And hopefully we improve chance creation and finishing, because that's going to be absolutely crucial for that game.
Damn right, bro. Well, Pablo, thanks for jumping on, man. I hope to chat to you on Tuesday as well.
Yeah, I will do. I'll be there.
You too. But take care, bro.
Yeah, I'll be there, Lewis. Cheers for having me on.
Love. Again, Click the Patreon link below if you guys want to get involved. Time for our next guest. Yes, Fata, what are you telling me, man?
Now I see why you hate 12:30 p.m. kickoff.
Bro, I'm on like 3 hours sleep. I am struggling to even keep my eyes open, but we're out here. There's a dead draw, but here we are. What were your thoughts, man?
Again, man, it's frustrating again, especially against the likes of Southampton, a low block team, that like to play defensively. And I just thought today it's been a massive problem for us for the last couple of weeks. We're still lacking clear-cut chances, lack of penetration, lack of killer instinct in the final third. And I just think, again, it's the same old habits that coming back to haunt us for the last 3 weeks since Tuchel came in. And I found it really bad I don't want to be over-criticizing, especially the likes of Timo Werner. You know me, man. I backed Timo Werner the whole season, but I just think, again, today, man, I think there's an argument. I think second half there's not much he can't do because everything that there's no one that can distribute the ball towards him. And Tammy Abraham again, bruv. Oh my god, I don't want to be. See this thing. I hate criticizing players in that, but I just think, again, man, Tammy Abraham again. Oh my days. It's so frustrating at times because his hold-up play is like really awful. There's a reason why he's got substituted at halftime by Tuchel, and that the fact that he was poor. And what I like about Tuchel is the ruthlessness and the aggression from Tuchel. Right, if something doesn't go right, took him off. I don't care if you're the best player on the pitch or you're the favorite player in that. I don't care. Like, if something goes wrong, he took off. That's what I like about Tuchel. And the second thing that I would like to touch upon and this is what we've been discussing for nearly an hour, and that defensive organization, that first goal, that was ridiculous though. How could you leave Minamino like lots of space in the area, like lots of freedom, no one? There's an argument, there's an argument about miscommunication and that. I just think the players got to get close more to him, man. But if that was Luis Suarez,
you ain't going to see him on Tuesday, though, because he's going to be in the back pocket of the Danish Maldini.
Yes, hopefully so. So I just hope the Danish Maldini starts on Tuesday, man, because I think, as much as I hate this, but I just think we miss him today, big time. Not gonna lie.
We missed him a lot, but I kind of understand rotating with this game in mind. Kind of.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't want to be. Again, this is every time Chelsea lineup came out, everyone gonna have a massive meltdown on that. But I just think today, man, there's an argument okay, some of us maybe some of our fan base a little bit reactionary at times about this lineup, about what they prefer setup for and the lineup like that, etc., etc. And I just think today, man, if you look at the next couple of fixtures ahead, mainly they're all big match fixtures. Treat every match as if that is a final, because
we've got Atletico, Man United, Liverpool, Leeds, Everton, and then Atletico Madrid again in the second leg.
On that note,
all of them, by the way.
To be fair, if we won this game, it could have bring a little bit of confidence, and I just think 2 points dropped from today's game, then you got massive big matches coming on our way.
Yeah, it's a bit jarring.
It's a bit jarring, but it's just one of those games oh my, you feel regret. I think by the end of the season, I think when you look back on it 3 months before the end of the season, I think that game could, this game could costly our season overall.
Yeah, same here as well, man. Any final thoughts?
Last but not least, rest in peace, Peter Osgood, man. Rest in peace, Peter Osgood. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Up the Chelsea.
Yeah, shout out your channel, man. Where can they find you?
It's Father Show, and I will put the link in the private chat. Hold on a sec. Let me go on here. Yeah, I'll put the link in the private chat. Do you know what? You can search on YouTube. It's Father Show, so everyone can find it.
Yeah, guys, check out his father show on YouTube. Fata, thanks for jumping on, bro. Take care,
I'll
man.
shout you out tomorrow anyway, so yeah.
Love. Take care, bro. Bless. Yes, Ellie, what are you saying, bro?
Hey, Lewis, how are you?
Drained after that performance, but there's still a lot of good football on, so that's going to get me through it. What are you saying?
I can't believe I slept only 1 hour to watch this game.
We both don't have a lot of sleep then. I'm on like 3, so I won't complain too much, but we're both struggling. Like I can't even get words out of my fucking mouth right now, but chat to me.
Same thing. We were so poor today. Okay, we can have a lot of possession, but if we don't do anything with it in the final third, then does it really matter? Tammy Abraham. Look, I know Tammy Abraham is getting criticized because he played badly today, and he did play, and he was poor today. But you got to remember, he wasn't 100% fit. And as much as I love Tuchel, you have to blame Tuchel for that. Like, why did he start Abraham after he was injured against Newcastle? Why did he start him today against over Olivier Giroud? I don't get that.
I don't know. Like, it's a choice of preference which one you want for the Atletico game. But I think Tammy would have been a bit more mobile, and that's what we could have done with, because I don't think we'd be spamming a lot of crosses into the box against Atletico. I'd be hoping we're not as well.
Yeah, but he wasn't 100% fit anyways.
What?
He wasn't even 100% fit.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense compared to the others. I get that because Silva hasn't played, Kai Havertz hasn't played, and they were both rumoured to be out with the injury as well, but we're back in training.
Exactly. Other than that, it's two dropped points. No Jorginho, so we don't win. Nah, just kidding. Look, I hate criticizing players. I really do, but you have to agree with me on that. Marcos Alonso was poor. Like, in the 70th minute, I kept on telling myself, like, Marcos Alonso has been very good under Tuchel, but today I saw the Marcos Alonso under Lampard last season. He was very poor. Man of the match, Mason Mount. His second half performance was really good. He should have had an assist. Reece James should have scored that shot. Look, we have to move, you know? It's a bad result. We made some mistakes. Tuchel made some mistakes, but on to Atletico. On to bigger games ahead.
Damn right, exactly that. Go on.
We have to beat Atleti. We have to beat Man United. We have to beat Liverpool. If we want to finish in the top 4, we have to at least get minimum 4 points against Man United and against Liverpool.
I'm not as worried as I would have been a few weeks ago going into that game, because United can always drop points. Their away record is a lot better than their home record, but same way, they're always capable of blunders. Their team's filled with that, and their manager is always going to hold them back as far as I'm concerned in general. Liverpool have been falling off a cliff, and if they don't win this Merseyside derby, they'll be under even more pressure.
That's what I'm just hoping.
We can continue to capitalise on it.
I'm just hoping for that to happen, because if Liverpool beat Everton, then we're back outside the top 4, and we have to do it all over again, you know? Look, we can't do anything. What's up?
They overtake us if they beat Everton.
I think so, because we overtook them, because they lost to Leicester and we beat Newcastle last week.
If they beat them by 3 goals, they'll overtake us. No, if they beat them by over 3 goals, they'll overtake us.
And then there's West Ham and Tottenham, which, to be fair, even if West Ham won, I don't think they are good enough to finish in the top 4.
Exactly. So I don't care too much about West Ham.
Exactly. It's just Liverpool. Liverpool is the threat for us. But look, at least we didn't lose the game. Like, that's the positive.
Small positives to take out of it. Kante, Rudiger, Mount, good individual performances. The rest,
Why didn't Christensen start?
I feel like he's being rested for the Atletico game. I don't think Thiago Silva's playing.
Yeah, Oh, damn! Then it's gonna be tough. Like I was praying every day for Thiago Silva to be fit to play against Atletico, but if he's not, it's gonna be a bit of a problem. And what do you think about Timo Werner? Because last time we talked, I told you like, oh, Timo Werner is gonna go on a goal scoring run, and he wasn't bad today. But what do you think?
Timo Werner, I thought fell off a bit more towards the second half, but first half it was just another case of his runs are being ignored.
Bloody hell! Yeah, we can't do anything. Look, it's a point. We have to move on to Atletico. Let's get. I'm going for a 2-1 Chelsea win against Atleti.
Oh, you think we're going to score twice? That's very interesting. Who do you think's scoring?
Giroud might score. And let me think. You know what? Why not? Always stick with Timo Werner. Always stick with him. Hopefully one day he'll come good.
Big game Werner. Love a goal against a big team. Ellie, thanks for jumping on, man. Massively appreciate it, bro. We'll chat to you on Tuesday. Again, hopefully after a W, because it'll be an amazing phone-in show.
I hope so.
Anyways, take care, man. Bless.
You too.
I'm going to get a next guest on. Going to get some opposition analysis in quick. Yes, Dan, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, like, I guess this wasn't the result either of us thought was going to happen going into the match, but I knew you guys were going to give us a tougher game than people were going to give you the estimation for.
Yeah, and it's like I said to you, you know, I was confident that we'd give you a game. You know, I wasn't confident that we'd come away with something. But yeah, it's a massive point for us. It stops the rot. Like I said in the preview, you know, any sort of point every Saints fan will take at this point after the run we've had. And now we can kind of look forward, look back up the table, and really it's mad how 1 point changes everything. You know, everything's kind of become optimistic again. You know, we've got Leeds on Tuesday night. If we win that game, you know, up to 12th, 11 points with Wolves or 11th, it's starting to look a bit more rosy, and we can get ourselves back in the top half, because that's where we should be this season, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, like I've already said, your position is a false image, regardless of your recent results. You're a good team with a good game plan about you lot. And you gave us the toughest match we've had since Tuchel's joined. And I was worried you lot were going to do it as well. Like the midfield, there was a strong battle in there, and we struggled with that for long periods. And your shape was very compact and really hard to break down.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we discussed it about with the back five. I wasn't too sure whether we were going to bring a back five in today. We did, and it kind of worked, you know. But it was also nice to see us swap formations regarding whether we were in or out of possession. You know, Ralph has sometimes lacked a plan B at times, and so we showed we had one today. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we actually scored by having got at the back, and we kind of had almost two number 10s. And Redmond, even though he's a winger, he was more central, playing that ball into Minamino, who again is a winger, again playing central position. So it worked, and so it's something we've taken on the chin going into our next couple of games, because it's a mixed run. We've got Leeds on Tuesday, obviously big game there. That's our game in hand. Everton away, that's going to be tough. Sheffield United away, we back ourselves to win that. So it's a mixed run, and hopefully now we can pick up some points. You know, we've put this run of losing 6 in a row behind us now with this point today, and yeah, we've just got to look up the table, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, I'm hoping you guys stay up as well, because you guys are a semi-decent away day. Really like the ground in general. It's a close trip too.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think a lot of fans like playing at St Mary's because our home form's so dreadful. But yeah, no, there's no doubts that we're going to stay in the division. It's more about what we do in the division this season, if that makes sense, because again, I've said it to Saints fans today, I'd be disappointed. Regardless of what we do in the FA Cup, I'd be disappointed with outside of the top half. I think, you know, at least 10th has to be the aim.
Exactly that, man. But what were your thoughts on Chelsea's performance today as well?
I thought you gave us a really good game. I don't think it was a bad Chelsea performance, in fairness. You know, obviously drop points, Chelsea fans won't be happy about that. But I thought you came to St Mary's and played exactly the same way. I kind of imagine you gave us a good game. Obviously, it could have been completely different. Alonso, I think it was, had a good early chance. If that goes in, obviously completely different game early on. But, you know, you set up very well. I think the Minamino goal was our first effort at all. I think it was our first opportunity, if I'm not mistaken. So we got in behind. Fair enough. Minamuna kind of sent Aspilicueta and Mendy for a hot dog with the goal, but that's individual quality. Overall, I think Chelsea defended well. And look, at the end of the day, I think it's a fair result. We played well, Chelsea played well. We take the point and we move on to our next games.
Yeah, just to ask you as well as a final question, what are you guys' hopes for the season for Southampton? You guys, how far do you guys still think you can climb back up for? Because I still think you're capable of getting those Europa League spots.
Yeah, it completely depends on how we react to this point. Because if we now go on a 6-game run of wins and draws when we're unbeaten, as opposed to 6 consecutive defeats, I would be saying, yeah, we'll knock on the door. I don't think we'll finish 7th. I think after the run we've had recently, and we speak about the Evertons, Aston Villas, even Wolves are in with a shout. Arsenal, I think one of them will end up getting 7th, or even Spurs.
I love that you added Arsenal to those names.
It's true. It's true though. If you look at it, Spurs as well. If you look at the table, they are the teams we're competing with for that 7th spot right now. I just want to see us get a couple of wins, get back in the top half, get back to where we need to be, and then we can build from there. I think a lot of fans have prioritised the FA Cup now, which I'm probably one of them. We've got a great chance of getting to the semi-final with the quarter-final draw that we got in Bournemouth away, championship opposition.
That's so South Coast derby as well.
Yeah, it's the South Coast rivalry. Mate, that's probably the main game all season where I've thought, God, like if fans were allowed in, that would have been a good one. But
in the semi-final, 1-0 Everton as well. Richarlison's just scored.
I told you, I was saying to my dad, I swear to God, like if Everton don't win this game, they're never winning at Anfield again, or ever.
That's another one for me. I'll have that. Go on,
yeah,
what you
but
saying?
anyway, yeah. Our ambition is in the FA Cup, get to Wembley and a top half finish. I think, for me, I would be saying now Europe if we want it. I'm kind of leaning on the FA Cup side of things. It'll be really difficult to win the whole thing, but I just think 7th is beyond us now. And if we are going to get it, we've got to be winning games. None of this drawing either. If we're going to stay unbeaten, we've got to be winning the majority of our games remaining, because we've drawn a lot of games this season. And I think that's why we are where we are. Obviously, this run we've had hasn't helped, but there have been a lot of games where we've had 0-0s or like maybe 1-1s, like today where we've taken the lead and dropped another 2 points. We need to be holding on and picking up 3 points, and that's got to improve.
Exactly that, man. Well, Dan, thank you for hopping on, man. Massively.
Yeah, no problem.
Guys, check out the Saints View if you guys haven't checked it out already. The best place for all your Southampton news. Is there anywhere else you want to plug before you jump off?
No, that's exactly it. Saints View. If you go and subscribe, it'd be massively appreciated.
Yeah, guys, check out the Saints View. Check it out on Twitter and all socials, bro. Thank you for jumping on, man. Take care.
Yeah, top man. Have a good one.
Yeah, best of luck for the season too, bro.
Yeah, you too. See you.
Bless. Right, we've got time for just 2 more guests now. Yes, Fitmus, what are you telling me, bro?
Yo, well go on, General. Sorry for being late.
Cool. We always here.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he passed off, and today was his funeral, so I was watching it on YouTube.
Oh, shit, yeah, because lockdown and everything. Sorry to hear that, bro.
Life, But just trying to, come on now and get my mind off that, and let's get back to some Chelsea business.
Yeah, let's chat about Chelsea, man. 2 points dropped today. Couple of bad individual performances, a few good individual performances. As a team, just struggled to break down Southampton in the space of 90 minutes. So what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long-going problem that we struggle with breaking down teams that defend with a low defense line. But we can't put too much pressure on the manager, knowing that he's only had a month or so with the players. So we just have to hope that in the future, like maybe next season, he would, formulate something, a very good strategy, and maybe get in a few players that can help us to get to score more goals against teams that do the low block, like Manchester City. I mean, they have the tactics and the players to do that. So we need to invest some more money into players, and not just buy any players like work costing 80, 100 million, whatever. Just invest in players that can definitely help us in situations like this, and maybe help us to win win some trophies again in the future.
Yeah, man. Like, this isn't anything to look at the long term of the way the club's going and be worried about. It's just staples through what we already know. We already know that Zouma struggles in the back three, and it's just been more exposed in this game. We already know about Alonso's deficiencies if you put him against a team that presses him, and it got exposed in this game as well. The only thing that was annoying was just the final third. Again, just let us down, as always.
Yeah, I mean, I think in your review, someone said, I don't remember who said it, but I think it was Kaya or Alex, but with the way we play in this 3-4-3, it is a defensive formation, but the way Tuchel uses it, it's more like an attacking formation in from his point of view and the setup and how he wants the players to play. But I think he needs to go back to the back four. Maybe he's just doing this just to give us 3 centre backs and to help us to defend. Well, not good today in terms of that goal that we conceded, but like to help us to stop conceding so many goals, or just to give us that defensive stability at the back. But when you play a defensive formation like the 3-4-3, it doesn't give us many options in the midfield. It's almost like we're still playing like 4-3-3 with Lampard, where there's not that many like players in the midfield to help out going forward. So when we have just Kovacic and Conte just sitting in the midfield, there's still not a connection with the attacking players going forward, unless we're depending on the wing backs or the one of the right forward or the left forward in Werner. So I think the only thing that makes it look different with Tuchel is that he has a strategy and a style of play, and the players are up to it and they're moving the ball very quickly. We didn't move it that quickly today prior to the games we played before, but today I think we just needed like more players drifting into the box to put Southampton under pressure, man, because it was too easy for their defense to block us from coming from the wings. We didn't have no options like in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I feel like it's partly because of the way Southampton's set up, because they had a lot of bodies in the middle of the field.
Yeah, but as I said on your review, man, we need a number 10 that can make it difficult for teams when they defend with a low block setup. Because if we look back at Eden Hazard when he was our number 10, when we were playing against teams like Wolves and other teams that at that time they were very defensive playing against Chelsea. Even when the season when we had and Hazard have to score that late equalizer when Wolves were like they scored 1 goal on the counter and they defend the whole damn game. I don't remember which game, and it took Eden Hazard brilliance to just cut inside, dribble past 2 Wolves player and take a shot in the bottom right corner, and it gave us a point in that game. So we need a number 10. Pulisic, I mean, if we can get the Pulisic that we had last season, then he would be the man for me. But we need to go back to a back four, play Conte, Kovacic, Jorginho, and Havertz in front. Timo Werner, Giroud, whosoever he wants. I think we need to give Callum Hudson-Odoi an opportunity to play as a wing on the left side. Give him the chance. Pulisic is out of form. Put Odoi on the left, and then Ziyech or Mason Mount if you want. Because Mason Mount is the one thing I can tell you I love about Mason Mount, bro. Yeah, man, big up Alex, man. You see, Mason Mount is someone you can depend on. He's not a player that will argue with the manager or drop his head or shoulders if he's told to play out there or play deeper or play on the left. He just do it. That's one of the things I love. That's one of the qualities of the thing about Mason Mount that I really love. And this, that guy from Terrace, what's his name? David.
Yeah.
You see David now. David, I understand what David's trying to say, but he likes too much ready-made players. Bro, if Chelsea had treated Frank Lampard the way that he wants us to treat Mason Mount, Lampard would have not been the player he turned out to be at Chelsea. If we look back at it, it's the same thing. It's the same growth. We just need to believe in Mason Mount and give him the opportunity. If he doesn't do it in maybe 2 seasons time and can't get to that stage where Lampard with them, we can say, oh well, he didn't he didn't make that transition. But that's what we need to. We have to believe in Mount. I mean, it's hard for him to get into this team if we get the right players, but he's someone who always works for his game. And as I'm used to having a star-studded midfield from the time I've been watching Chelsea, like from 2005 come up till now. We have had star-studded midfielders, Ballack, Essien, the Makaleles, you name it. So for Mount, it's a new thing, not seeing a star-studded midfield, but Mount has played and he has done enough to deserve a position in the team, whether it's on in the first team or on the bench to be the first substitution you would call upon if needed.
Yeah, so what team would you want to see play for the Atletico game then, with this match in mind?
All right, so for that now, Lewis, honestly, I would love for him to go to a back four, but we have been playing too many games with this back three, and I don't think it's the right decision to go up against Atletico Madrid playing a different formation that you have only maybe tried in training and not against an opposition. You get me? We have played the four at the back when he just came in against Wolves, and he changed it in the 80th minute or the 78th minute. I'm not sure. I don't remember when he changed it to a back three, but I don't see us going to a back four for Atletico Madrid. I don't see us. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, they just lost their last game. Their form is falling off a cliff now.
Yeah, but Atletico Madrid in the Champions League is a different team, man. Like, they play so much with more. What would I say? You know, they just play better in the Champions League. In the league, they're
I'm guessing.
Huh?
The occasion getting to them, I'm guessing.
Bro, Simeone loves the Champions League, and I'm sure of it that's one of the things he wants to try and win Atletico Madrid before he leaves, because he wants to leave Atletico Madrid, but he just thinks he needs to get them to the final to win the trophy, because there are many a times they have had the opportunity to win and it was stolen from them by Ronaldo or whosoever they met in the semi-finals or the quarterfinal, where they had a very good team. But like, we should just continue for the next 3 games. Atletico Madrid, we need to play the back three. Against Manchester United, we have to play a back three, and against Liverpool, we have to play a back three. Then after that, we can try to go back to a back four, because I think it's too late to change now to go to a back four again. I know we can't. I don't want to experiment against Atletico Madrid. He might do it because Tuchel is very unpredictable, as we have seen. You know his lineup. I know he makes the team play. So I could be saying this, and he could definitely be going for a back four against Atletico Madrid.
I'd be surprised if we play a back four, to be fair. But everything's setting up to play a back three for this game.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, don't want to put too much pressure on Tuchel, because he just came in and he's trying. And as much as people might say, "Oh, we didn't win today," we must not forget that we are still 7 games unbeaten with Tuchel, and the form before that was crazy. 1 winning, 4 points in 6 games or 7 games before Lampard got sacked. So compare that to what Tuchel has done since he's come in. We can't pressure him. Just give him, even if he just get the time that Lampard had, then we have to give him that time. If he only gets a year and maybe a couple of months, then fine. We have to give him that time. But also, there's something I want to add. I mean, this is outside the game today, but possibly we can add it. Like, for the Tammy Abraham situation, I said this before, but I wanted to say it on the Blues Fan TV. Tammy Abraham, not a bad player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a very good player. He has potential. But just as how we sack managers, players will get sacked as well. So we won't see some of the players that we love play all the time. And that's something that some of the fans need to understand, because many of us, like 70, 80, 90% of us have been calling for Erling Haaland. And if we get that guy, there's no starting for Tammy Abraham. So we need to make up our minds. Like, why are we saying at 1 minute that Tammy Abraham should be the man starting, should be the one that wears the 9, should be the one that takes Chelsea forward in the striker line, but we still go ahead and say we want to spend 100 million on Haaland. That's why we want to get Haaland, because deep down, these guys who are shouting Abraham to play as our main striker, they know that he can't do it. If you know he could do it, then why are you asking for Haaland?
With me, Tammy, I already know what he can do and what he can't do. I'm willing to be patient with him because I think as a sub option, he's not a bad option as a second, third striker right now. And I think in time he can become that first option. It's just going to take a lot longer than people really think it will take for him. They see a lot of other young players and they think it's going to be quick like that, like an Mbappe. It won't be like that.
Yeah, that's my point. He needs time to adjust and to like, not saying to how Chelsea's how we set up in terms of, you know, how we treat players. Like, he knows this. He's been in the club from youth days. He knows the bar that Chelsea has set. So, but he needs to just keep focused, just as the manager said about Ziyech. As long as Ziyech keep focus in training and continue working, in the future, near future, he will get back a position in the team. But at the moment, the system that I'm playing, it doesn't suit Ziyech. And that's just something the manager has said, like, because he knows it's his decision not to play Ziyech because he doesn't suit the system. But if we go to a back four, then Ziyech will definitely be someone who will be in the starting 11. You get me? So Tammy needs to just keep focus, change his attitude a little bit. And trust me, he can be a good super sub as a striker. And if we get Haaland, he can be our number 2. I mean, I love Giroud, but I would prefer to give Tammy the opportunity to be the number 2 striker because he's grassroots. You get me? So apart from this, it's sad to drop 2 points, but we still, there's, as you said earlier, there's a lot of time left for us to still get top 4. So 1 point today. We're sad because we're used to winning for the last few weeks, but we move again, man. We move again.
We shall see, bro. But Vitmus, thanks for jumping on, guys. If you want to check out Vitmus's channel as well, literally just the name, check out Vitmus on YouTube, bro. Thank you for jumping on, man. We'll chat to you maybe even before the Atletico game. Probably do a live if you're about. I'll shout you, bro. Take care, man.
Respect.
Bless. Just in time for 2 more guests. Yes, Tyrese, what are you saying?
Hey there.
Good. What are you saying, man?
Just a frustrating performance. You know, I was much angrier earlier, but I've calmed down a bit now. To be honest, I don't know about this team's mentality, man. I just question it so much because, like, I don't know, man. Like, simple stuff like the captain, as for the creator, why isn't he more vocal to the battle line when something is affecting them? And then there's just like these silly individual mistakes that keeps costing us all the time. Zouma, why are you falling asleep like that? Like, you're up against a quick false number 9. He's not the quick. He's not the best player. He's quick. Well, he can get in behind, get himself in positions that could hurt us. You can't just ball watch like that, especially as a central defender like that. He was in the middle of the back 3, and as far as I can remember, when there's a team playing a back 3, and when we were playing it, it used to be a center half in the middle of there that was good on the ball. Like, I think it was Gary Cahill in the center, or it was Jean Terry, can't remember, that could have probably passed the ball and had very good defensive awareness. And that's something Kurt Zouma was lacking. He's not good on the ball. He doesn't have good defensive awareness. So that's the thing, man, Lewis. It's just really frustrating. It's like, these individual errors. A little confidence is that that's going to give me going into this Atletico Madrid game is that they lost today and we drew, so maybe we could go in and get a free result. But to be honest, bro, like, that final third, man, like, you could carry a horse to a water, right? But you can't make it drink. That's the saying that we have here in Barbados, right? You could carry a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. You could put all the chances in front of someone, right? And they're not going to, and you can have everything there in front of you. That doesn't mean that they're going to finish them. You have to finish them. That's a problem that you have to finish them. And that's the biggest problem with that final third. We're not finishing our chances. We're not clinical enough, and that's why the board is in for a clinical number lane like Erling Haaland, which I'm very happy about, by the way. And
I hope that
thing
goes.
is, yeah, I really hope that works out. But the thing is, right, Tammy Abraham, man, you know, I criticize him a lot, and maybe it's a bit harsh to criticize a young player all the time. But to be honest, if you think of it, he's not going to get in none of the other big five teams in the league. He won't get in Leicester either. He won't get in West Ham. He won't get in Villa. He is a Crystal Palace level striker at best. I'm not going to be harsh on him and say he should be playing championship football because no, he did well in that league. He's for sure a Premier League level center forward, and he should be. I want to sell him because he's not a bad squad player to have, but to be starting him, no. To be starting over Olivier Giroud in a game against Southampton, I probably agree with because I would have played Giroud for the Atletico Madrid game, and I didn't necessarily have a problem with Tammy Abraham starting today. Well, I have a problem with him starting with us long term. He's not good enough. He's not clinical enough. He's not the number 9 that's going to get us the goals that we need all the time. He's a good squad player to have around. Like don't get me wrong. When you need Tammy Abraham to rely on him in a cup game or a less intense fixture, he usually tends to turn up, which I'm happy about. But to be starting him every game is just not good enough, bro. We need to go and get in Erling Haaland. I think that's the best move we have to move right now. We have to do right now. And another thing that Vitma said on your live stream about the defense, and we need another defender. I agreed with him. We need to go and get another defender because Thiago Silva is old, man. We can't keep relying on him for like situations like this. We don't really have an incentive that we can rely on that's not going to cost us those sort of mistakes. Like Christensen, he made some mistakes sometimes, but in a back three, he looks more comfortable and solid. So I could trust him more in a back three. But today he should have started. I maybe agree with Tuchel because he was probably thinking about saving him for the Atletico Madrid game, which is fair enough. But if Zouma starts today and just causing errors like that, it's just not good enough, man. Like I honestly would have rather put Rudiger there because Rudiger, to be honest, his positional awareness is improved. But he's prone to make an error. But to me, Kurt Zouma just switches off, loses a lapse of concentration all the time, as in supposed to like Kurt Zouma, man. I mean, it's just not good enough, man. But to be honest, a big concern for me right now is that final third, and I think that until then, Thomas Tuchel. Yes, he has to keep playing. These players can't keep dropping them after when they don't score chances. Can't be doing that because they won't improve if they don't play. You have to play them. You have to play them because we're struggling in the final third. And for the next game, I always said for the Atletico Madrid game, I've been saying this for months. Olivier Giroud has to start, has to play. I don't care if Werner doesn't start. I don't care who doesn't start. Giroud got to play. And it's not fair if Tuchel said to don't play Giroud for that game, but I think he's going to play because he's our top scorer in the league, in the Champions League, and he's also the most clinical frontman we have. We have to start him against Atletico Madrid. I trust him more. And if it's the same formation we play today, Giroud got to play. And then we played Timo Werner. I think today he wasn't that bad. I just think that no one fed him well enough. I don't think he was that bad. Mason Mount was excellent today, but we need to. Thing is, the media and everyone tends to praise Mason Mount all the time. And I think he had a brilliant performance today. Don't get me wrong, but that still doesn't mean that the decision making at times has to be more clear cut, man. If you're making a run and you're on and there's a man on you and there's someone that's completely free, pass the ball. Where are you holding on to it? Like that free kick when Marcus Alonso smashed it into the wall. That shouldn't have been a free kick in the first place. Should have released the ball to Werner. Werner was through on goal. those are some of the things you have to make. I said that his decision making, he was good against Burnley, but that decision making that he was making was poor. And the thing is, I'm not going to be too critical on him because we have to remember, man, someone is a young player. He's only 22. He's only been playing Premier League football for a season now. So it's okay to criticize him at times, but I think he's a brilliant footballer, man.
Henderson might be injured too.
Ooh,
Mad.
who are they going to play at centre back now? Thiago?
Nah, that guy they brought from Coventry.
Oh yeah, that left-footed guy. Yeah, I know what you mean. That
Yeah.
from Preston or
because I gotta keep this moving. I can't lie. I need to
my final thoughts are we need to. Honestly, if I was Thomas Tuchel, I don't care if tomorrow's a rest day. I will bring in those guys tomorrow. Give them some finishing drills tomorrow. I will give them some finishing drills on Monday. Every day, like till Tuesday. Just keep working on that finishing. I honestly will bring in my players for extra training tomorrow, and just we need to be better in the final third. We have to improve on that. Have to, and that's not on Thomas Tuchel. That is on the players. And until then, until we get Erling Haaland, I want to see us playing Olivier Giroud for the rest of the season. I can't take seeing Tammy Abraham again on the end of every cross or again at the end of every ball, and just squaring it wide or just like heading it over the crossbar. So we need to be more clinical and better in the final third. And yeah, we're defending well. I'm not too angry about our defensive record. We're defending well. We're compact. We have to be like that against Atletico. And we didn't really struggle against the counter attack today from Southampton against any of these lower blocks that we've played so far. So we're going against an ultimate lower block, the best in the world, and they're very good on a counter attack. So once we could defend against them, I'll be very happy. So yeah, Atletico Madrid, I'm happy. I'm positive because they dropped points this weekend, and I'm positive going into this game, and Giroud must start.
All right, nice, bro. I'll chat to you after the Atletico game.
Yeah, bro.
All right, take care, man. Take care. All right, final two guests now. This time we'll get it right. Yes, Ryan. What are you saying, man?
You good?
Yeah, what are you telling me, bro? Chat to me about the game.
I'm good, innit? I'm not even gonna speak too much about. I'm just gonna speak about the big incident, which was the goal we conceded and how stupid it was. First of all, wait, let me try to get this on the screen. You see this?
Yep, I've seen that. One sec, I can get that up on the screen here as well.
Get that up on the screen, innit?
Where is it? There it is. We'll put it up on here as well. There you go.
First of all, yeah, I don't know why there's such a big gap between Zouma and Azpilicueta. I don't know why Kante's not pressing him, but I'm gonna cut him some slack. I don't know why Marcus Alonso would have waited there, so flipping Rudiger has to mark the Gineppo guy, and I don't get why Kovacic and Alonso are both in the same space, yeah. But you see, Zuma's out of position now, yeah. So he's let Minamino go through, yeah. That's all bad and stuff. But the best thing you can do is try to recover from that position, and then he's jogging back. That's what annoyed me, man. Looking back at it, he jogged back, and if Zuma's presence, and because he's so big, if he ran to what's his name, to Minamino to make up numbers over there, it would have been better, man. But he started jogging, and he gave Minamino all the time in the world. And the thing is, he was standing in a position where even if Minamino was gonna pass it to Ings and square it, he couldn't have cut that out. So I don't know what Zouma was doing there. And what's it called? Timo Werner as well, man. He needs to be found. Those two big occasions where he could have been found. One of them was Reece James, where Reece James ran through and he didn't want to pass it to Werner when Werner was through, and Mason Mount as well when he conceded the free kick. You get me? But we just struggled to break him down. Marcos Alonso as well. Like, we were playing with 3 central players, and there's no play. You have to rely on your wing backs when you're playing 3-4-1-2. And Marcos Alonso is just not that. He loves to go central, leaving his space out wide, and we're meant to rely on him. You get me? But yeah, like, gonna have to play Atletico now, and the Atletico aren't on the best of form, but they turn
Mm.
into Barcelona when they're in the Champions League. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, we shall see, man. Who are the positives for you today? Because it's easy to talk about negatives, but who impressed you?
Kante was decent, but his passing and decision making was. It was weird, innit? He'd make a misplaced pass and then get it back. So his interceptions and his tackling was brilliant, but his passing was a bit off. But he was probably one of our better players. Mason Mount as well. There was some chances where he could have passed and decision making could have been better, but in general, probably our best player. It was a nice penalty as well from him. Who else? I think that Rudiger was also probably our best defender as well. Like Rudiger actually tried to take a shot. He tried to take the ball out, and he was generally solid. But the rest were all either average or below average. To be honest, you get me.
I hear that, man. Like that's probably the same way I look for the majority of the team. But at the very least, most of them aren't going to be starting every single game for us.
Yeah, Christensen, your guy Christensen is hopefully going to be playing against Atletico as well, so that would be better. So yeah, but that's all I got to say.
All right. Any final thoughts, bro?
No, I'm just gonna wrap it up by saying, I got a YT channel, Ryan Sears, and I should be live with you tomorrow.
Should be. I need a good long night's sleep, but should be. Yeah.
Yeah, so catch me on my channel. I'm gonna be doing a live with Lewis, and we'll try to break down this game even more, and then we'll probably speak about the Atletico game coming up. But other than that, sub to Views Fans TV, sub to Lewis, and yeah, I'm out.
Nearly 2-0. Take care, bro. Bless. Right, final guest time. Yes, Prasanna, what are you saying? Chat to me about the game, bro.
I mean, we started well. I mean, we had a little passing. We were on the front foot, but for some reason, our final ball was so poor. And Southampton, they literally had no touches in our box before. I think before they scored, they hardly did anything in our box. It was everything else towards their end. And it's like they kind of sucker punched us, let's be honest. And I was thinking, oh my god, they're gonna put 10 men behind the ball now and defend, but they're not generally that team. They'll probably when we got the equalizer and we got the penalty and we sort of, I thought, okay, we got 1-1, we're back in this game. We were still passing about now with like a lack of cutting edge, and we're still going through. And yeah, man, as people were saying before, we were so toothless in the final third, and probably that's why we kind of missed Jorginho today, because even then, I think we missed more of Harris today. Not sure, because in the final third, Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, I feel all three of them are kind of similar players. Like they can shield the ball, but their final product has been pretty poor off late. And Kovacic, they gave the ball away so many times. And only positive now is Everton are 1-0 up against Liverpool. So I think how many points is that difference?
That'll move to 3 points, a 3-point gap, I think. Let me have a look.
Yeah, Everton have a 3-point gap, but our goal difference is bigger. So even if they win their game in hand, they're not going above us. So yeah, man. But if West Ham win, we're going to fifth. Who do West Ham play? I think. It's Spurs. Oh my god.
What was that? Who's playing Spurs? Not us.
West Ham is playing Spurs tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to that. Probably be a dead game, but still looking forward to see who shares the points.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I'm not too disappointed. I feel that we're still defensively fine. I mean, apart from maybe 2 or 3 moments, we're defensively okay. It's just that we need to improve our final ball. And I'm not too disappointed. I am disappointed because it was 2.12, but I'm not too. What's the word? I mean, I'm not too disappointed. I'm in between. And yeah, looking forward to Atletico Madrid game. I think they lost today to Levante, I think.
Yeah, they lost 2-0.
Yeah, and the first leg is not going to be played in Madrid. It's going to be played somewhere else.
Bucharest.
Yeah, Bucharest. And I think we are hosting I think we got the second leg at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, second leg we're fine. We're still playing our yard.
Yeah. But I don't think that's a big difference because no crowds anyway. So, but even then, I think I'm not sure how long Thiago Silva's out for though. Probably Christensen could come back in place of Zouma, I feel, because Rudiger has been he's been pretty good. I have no problems with Azpilicueta. Reece James, I think he had a shocker today, and I was kind of shocked with Hudson-Odoi. He came on in 45 minutes, and then got hooked up after 75 for Ziyech. So I think Ziyech had absolutely zero impact today. So that was kind of and Tammy, I don't want to slag him off because I still think he's young, but I think Lampard somewhere called him as a championship striker, and like he against the FA Cup, against the lower league teams, he somehow gets in those positions, and he's able to score goals. But against teams, but there's a big difference. Even the top teams in the championship, and even like the mid-table teams in the Premier League, there's a big difference to it because they're more physical. And I don't think Tammy is that physical enough to deal with the likes of them clubs. So I think he should be given more time, and I think probably he can come off more at the bench before he will be a regular starter probably next season or 2 seasons probably. I think Giroud should play because I'm not sure what's wrong with Giroud. Whenever he starts, whenever he plays, he scores. And he's not getting a lot of games. So that's why I'm disappointed. I want to see Giroud and Werner start against Atletico. I got no problems with the formation. Probably maybe the midfield too, because Kane is fit. Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, who do we play on the who do we play? That will be a kind of a question there. And Havertz, I don't know. And because Mason Mount is stepping up his game another level. You see Mason Mount, he's running himself to the ground. He may not be the most technically gifted player, but he's still running himself to the ground, and he's working his socks off for the whole 90 minutes. And I'm not sure, like probably Atletico game, I would take a draw, probably a scoring draw, but you never know. That's what we thought in 2014, but they came up and slapped us in our hometown and then at Stamford Bridge. So I think we are probably the last team to beat them in their home, and so-called home. I'm not sure about that. Like when they played at the Wanda Metropolitano the first time, we beat them. We kind of outclassed them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Last time we went to their ground, we ended up winning 2-1.
Yeah, Batchway last minute, your vlogs, and was that the one where you went shirtless, or was it the Spurs one?
Probably both.
I don't even remember. Hopefully we can. I think Atletico against Atletico, if we avoid a defeat, that would be a good result. But it all depends on what we do at home as well, because going forward we are struggling. If I think Werner had a decent game. I'm not gonna say he had a bad game. He's had a decent game. He made some runs, but he wasn't found enough. But I would. Yeah, again, anything apart from a defeat, I'll probably take it at Atletico. That's what I feel.
Now we're going to go then. We're going to go get a result. Can't wait.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, because they're flying in La Liga. Even though they lost today, they're still like on level games with Madrid. They're still like 6 points clear, even though you may argue like Madrid and Barcelona have not been the greatest, that have not been great. Yeah, but still, the Atletico is a tough team. And they're, we all know Simeone. We have played him like, all English teams know him. He's going to have 2 banks of 4, and he's going to put Suarez on the counter. And so, yeah, man, we can beat him. I think Tuchel can come up with a better plan because he's more experienced in these situations. And and here starts the real test, because we have Atletico, Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Leeds, and then Atletico again, and then Sheffield United in the FA Cup. So this will really this set of games will really show how far we have come under Tuchel. So I'm trying to stay positive. I don't want to be negative. Let's stay positive and see what we can do with Atletico, and then probably beat Manchester United at home. I think it's next Sunday or Saturday. Let me look at that fixture.
Sunday.
Yeah, and we haven't beaten them for the last 2 or 3 years, I think, at home. So So that's one thing we got to get rid of. But first, Atletico, hope we get a result there. A win would be a very big bonus because you would have the away goals, and we have the away goals, and probably I would take a 2-1 or a 3-2 result, even though it's just a goal difference because you have the away goal. But yeah, man, let's go there positive, and let's hope we get the win.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for jumping on, man. We'll chat to you after the Atletico game. You take care, bro.
Sure, man. We got you.
Let's take care. But guys, this is the end of the Southampton 1, Chelsea 1 live phone-in. Do hope you guys have enjoyed it. Big up every one of you, man, that are locked in. If you guys want to get involved in the next one, join the Patreon in the description below to get involved. I will see you on Tuesday. Atletico versus Chelsea. This will either be a great night or this will just be a long, dreaded night. But we'll hope it's the former. But we'll find out on Tuesday. Until then, take care. Like and subscribe. Check out Carefree Lewis G if you want to see more of me as well. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care and up the Chelsea.